Hey, this is Jordan,
This is Oli.
and welcome to the Real Cut podcast, where we give you our unfiltered take on life.
Welcome to today's edition of Unfiltered Questions on Life. No.
That's right. This is a surprise questions edition.
Absolutely. It's going to ask a bunch of different questions. We'd love to hear other questions you guys may have as well. Was something we're talking about as well, right? That we could
Yeah,
ask
so if
back
you
and
have a
forth.
question you want me to ask Oli on here,
Or a question
and
you want me
not
to ask Jordan.
prep him. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Not unprepped.
PG-13
Exactly.
at the most.
At the most. Yeah. Until we get the subscription service going from the Real Cup podcast after dark.
That's
And
right.
then
Yeah.
but seriously, write in if you want to hear that. No, but yeah. But yeah, do you ever have, this is like a random question I thought right before we started. So this is even like on a
Okay.
list of the
Okay.
ones we kind of looked up, by the way. But I decided I was going to ask it to you before we started filming, but I was
Okay.
like, no, we're going to say this for the camera.
Okay.
So I'm going to make myself look crazy here, but I don't care because I'm curious how many other people
You
are
already
crazy
look
out there.
crazy.
No, everybody knows I'm crazy. So, I mean, I talk about it.
Okay.
So my mom used to talk to herself all the time, and I
Mhm.
would like razz her about it all the time. Just be
Mhm.
like, you know what the first sign of crazy is, right? And she'd be like, what? I'd be like, talking to yourself. And because she wouldn't even realize she was doing it. Like she'd be sitting there
And
and
now
just
you talk to yourself?
all the time.
Oh,
Like I
that's
say
good.
so many things out loud I don't mean to say. Like inner monologue that becomes outer monologue.
Mhm.
And like
Wow.
like I've said something before and Lau was like, looked at me, he's like, what? And I was like, did I just say that out loud? And he's like, yeah.
Oh my
I'm like,
gosh.
oh,
That's scary. I wouldn't want anyone to know my thoughts.
yeah, right. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially, I think I'm usually very good at it. So you never have this ever happen.
I don't talk to myself.
Okay,
Mhm.
nice. So just know you don't ever have any self-talk. Now I want to dive deeper into this.
But in my head, basically.
Oh, okay. So
Or
yeah, you do talk to
outside.
yourself.
Outside, I don't talk to myself. Inside, it doesn't feel like I'm talking to myself. It's just
Right.
things like more that I'm stating.
Right.
Like, oh, that's dirty. Like, not about something. Like, sorry, in my head, I'm looking at my sink of dishes. Like,
That's so funny.
that's what I did this morning.
Yeah, no, I get it.
That was not
That's
planned.
so funny.
I should
No,
have
but you
said when
saw
I'm
something in
looking
your
at
head.
my kitchen.
Right. No, yeah. You envisioned it in your head and then you said what you were envisioning.
Yeah, like, but I don't go, oh wow, those dishes are dirty. I should probably clean them. Like,
Right.
it's very
You're not like
basic.
talking with yourself, but
Yeah.
you list.
Yeah, some
is
people
more.
hear themselves talking
Yeah.
to themselves, but
Okay.
I don't do that.
See, I don't hear myself talking to myself.
Mhm.
But I'll do a lot of like yeah, it's
Mhm.
a lot of like, okay, I got to get this done today. I've got to get,
Mhm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I do say things like, what is it? I said it once and I laughed about it because it was like, all right, what are we doing today? And I was like,
Right.
okay, it's just me.
You're like
Like,
asking
well,
yourself.
yeah, I'm like, who am I talking to? And I
It's
was like,
not, I wonder what I'm doing today.
Yeah.
You literally asked yourself
right.
today.
And I'm like, oh yeah, my cat's here. That's who I'm talking to. It's me and the cat.
Yeah.
Not the 13 other voices. No, just kidding. Semi-serious. No. But so okay, I was just curious about that because
Yeah.
it's kind of funny when that happens. It's always at the most inopportune times. Yeah, like
Like where people kind of hear you.
mhm. Yeah, like
Yeah.
like I had it one time. There was this girl who was really cute,
Yeah.
and she walked by me, and I was like, "Wow!"
Oh, I know the
Out
story.
loud, yeah. And she was like,
Wow.
"What?"
That's such a compliment.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, and she just only stopped, and I was like,
I mean, it could have been worse.
Yeah,
Wow.
I've done the
not too
focus.
bad.
I think I told you that before
Oh,
as
yeah, the
well. That's the one I think
Wait,
you're,
tell
yeah.
that story.
Yeah, well, because I was working out and there was a girl right by me that was really cute, and I just, when you're just drawn to somebody,
Yeah.
right? Like I don't really
Yeah.
know much about her or anything. Like, so I'm not trying to be creepy about it, but sometimes you just see somebody and you're like, you're just drawn to them in a way.
Mhm.
And she like was by me and working out, and I remember, is this the right story? I was working out and I was just like,
Mhm.
okay, I just need to focus. And then she looked at me and I was like, oh shit. I said, like, where did you go? So I was trying to think in my mind, like, all right, what rep are you on? Like, I already lose those things in general. I'm already like, how many reps have I done? How many sets have I done? And then like she's sitting there and I'm trying because one, as like a guy in the gym, if you're a
Mhm.
decent man in the gym, you're
Mhm.
trying really hard not to like
Right.
stare or be creepy or
Yeah.
even but if you're just like sometimes like I was thinking about it today in the gym, I want to make this video of like when you're accidentally just staring across the gym
Mhm.
and then like zoning out. So like
Mhm.
I could be in my head thinking about something else and then all of a sudden you come back to the real world
Right.
and realize you're locked in on something
Yeah,
or
yeah.
somebody,
Right.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like I thought that would be a really funny one. But like
Like, oops.
have like a girl on the other end, like be like so like I'll be
What are
like
you
thinking of
doing?
like dishes or something, you know, and I'll
Yeah.
even like film the dishes, like put that in like a little bubble or something,
Yeah.
and then have it come back and have some girl look at me being like, "What the
What
heck?"
are you looking
Yeah, like,
at?
"What's up, creeper?" Or
Yeah.
even like
Mhm.
on the flip side, somebody that like have some dude being like, "What's up?" You know, like that would be funny too. Yeah, be like, "Oh no, I'm sorry." Yeah, yeah. And so, but
I get
that
when you
was
said focus though, right next or
oh
I need
yeah,
to
I
focus.
did. Yeah, well, it was like focus, and like because that's what I was trying to like not to look, and I was trying to just like focus on my thing and just be like a good guy and just work out, you know.
And did she
And
hear you?
yeah,
Uh,
she definitely because I said it and she looked like you know your peripheral like we're on the same machine, so we're right next to each other, just kind of like how you and I are, right?
Mhm.
So say if we're both looking forward, like even though I'm looking
Oh,
forward, I can still
yes.
see you, right?
Yes.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, and like I like deep breathed. I was like, all right, focus, focus, like and like she like I
Oh,
could see the head
no.
totally look at
And then
me.
what'd you do?
I left the machine. I finished my reps and I left. I walked off.
Yeah.
Well, and then there was
Oh.
the well, like this is separate, but I got like there was a girl that was hitting on me that I didn't even
Mhm.
realize till later.
Oh,
I
yes.
think that I told you about that story as
Yes.
well.
Uh-huh.
Because I walked in and we had made eye contact, which
Mhm.
happens again,
Mhm.
right? So I
Yeah.
don't think anything from
Whatever.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I went over to the bench and started working out. And then she found the next bench next to me, which again,
Mhm.
you know, it's a busy day.
Yeah.
Not really, you know, again, not signs or anything, right?
Mhm.
But then I'm checking myself out in the
Yeah.
mirror and I'm
Yeah.
looking at the pump on my arm and I'm
Uh-huh.
like, all right, like look at, you know, I'm doing pretty good. And I look up in the mirror and she's looking, and that's when I start laughing. And I'm like, oh God, I got caught, you know? And she's laughing and she does the little headphones off thing.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I was like, hey, and she's like, hey, and I was like, and she was like, what? Like I said something, or no, that's what it wasn't. Hey, hey. She was like, what? And I was like, what? And she's like, what? Like,
Did you say had you said something out
no, no, no.
loud? Oh,
So that's
okay.
what I forgot is I'm looking at
Oh.
my arms
Oh,
and I'm laughing,
and
and then
then
we
you
make eye
see
contact, seeing
okay.
that you know she
Yes.
caught me looking at myself, right? So we start
Yeah.
visibly laughing,
Uh-huh.
and then she does this thing. So I take off my headphones, and she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "What?" And she's like,
Oh my
"What?"
gosh.
And so I was like, "Oh, you caught me checking myself out." So I was laughing. And she was like, "I was checking you out, like you know." I was like, "Good," and I was like, "Thanks," you know. And she's like, I'd love to have my arms veiny kind of like that. I need to drink more water. And I go, oh,
Mhm.
is that how that works?
Mhm.
And she goes, think so. I go, oh, cool. And I put my headphones back on and I started working out again,
Like,
just
you should have
completely
continued the
oblivious. And yeah,
conversation.
she totally was trying to. So then I moved to another machine. Because again, I'm just working out, right?
Mhm.
And like the one, so side note as well, and I think you'll agree with this, is like in the triathlon world, and I think like even at my gym, there's a really cool culture of people just there to help each other out and like to
Right.
see each other grow and build
Yes.
because we're
For
all there to
sure.
do the same thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So to me, I was seeing it more as like, oh, it's just a community thing. You know
Mhm.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're kicking ass too, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
And so then she found it. Like I go to this other machine. She found herself over to that machine too. It's the same one that the other girl was on, you know,
Okay.
like again, so we're right by each other.
Yeah.
And and she does the headphone thing off again in
Mhm.
between sets, and it's
Mhm.
like, "So do you come here often at this time? Like, when do you usually come?" And
Uh-huh.
I was like, "Yeah, this time, like, but also in the mornings and this and that," you know,
Uh-huh.
and I put my headphones back on and start
Right.
like, I'm not picking up on it, and she's trying to talk to me, like,
Yeah.
avidly in between our sets.
Oh, no.
Not even and then I remember I got home and I told my sister first because we were living
Yes.
together,
Yes.
and I was like, "You know, I really love the gym community. I love people, how
Mhm.
much we build each other up. Like, I just love
Yeah.
how, you know, it can be like, hey, you're doing awesome.
Oh,
I'm doing
no,
awesome
this
and
is
it's
such a
great."
classic you.
No, totally. And I was like, you know, like this girl just, and she's like, well, what do you mean? I was like, well, this girl was just so nice tonight, you know, about my arms. And she was like, wait, what?
Mhm.
And I was like, well, this girl like stopped me to compliment me on my arms. And she was like,
Yeah.
a girl talked to you at the gym? And I'm like, first off, like, don't say it like that. Like,
I was like, yeah.
yeah, and she was just, and so as not knowing as a guy, right? As a girl, she was like, well, let me tell you, like, and obviously she doesn't speak for all girls, right? But her
Mhm.
little insight she was giving me, and you agreed, I think, as well. She was like, if a
Yeah.
girl stops you and talks to you,
Mhm.
like she's interested,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
like to me, I just look at like you're my best friend. You're a girl, right? So I'm very
Yes.
used to just girls like I can't tell you how many girls have told me like I was just being nice to him.
Oh,
You know what I
okay.
mean?
Okay.
And then some dude turned creepy or something
Mhm.
like that,
Right.
right? So
Yeah.
I've consciously always tried to just like I don't look at
Like
girls
you're
being nice as
mhm.
hitting on me. No,
Yeah.
they're just a person
Yeah.
being nice.
Right. Yeah.
Right, and
Mhm.
so I miss a lot of things though on the flip side of that too.
Right.
And and she's like, yeah, stupid, like she was trying to talk to you and she's like, tell
Yeah.
it back. And then I tell her the story just like I told you guys now. And I'm like,
Uh-huh.
you start to see things
You're
and
like,
you're like, oh crap.
"Oh."
Like, because when the first time I put my headphones back on, she had like a
Uh-huh.
defeated look. She was like, oh, okay, like I didn't even think about it. You know what I mean? I felt so bad later. Um,
Yeah.
but again,
Dang
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Dang it. Well, yeah. Learning
That's
lesson.
yeah. But I mean like exactly. I believe in what's meant to be will be
Mhm.
as
Right.
well,
Totally. Have you
so
seen her back yet?
um a couple times,
Mhm.
but I also don't go at the same exact time that time was
Mhm.
anymore. So if she's still because people are usually pretty set to their routines and
Mhm.
schedules.
Yeah.
Um I'm kind of like I hit it in the morning and night.
Mhm.
But the time of night that I was going, she's like closer if I remember right, it was like closer to 5, 6, and it's
Mhm.
really busy at that time.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna go at night, I usually go closer to like 8 or 9,
Mhm.
closer to the close time.
Yeah.
And because it's a little bit more dead and I can get on any machine I need.
Right.
Um, and I'm running too, so then I don't have to worry
Mhm.
about fighting for a treadmill.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Uh, but yeah,
Funny.
so but it is a great community. I was thinking about that today. Like, I almost
Mhm.
feel like not a celebrity because I
Mhm.
don't think of myself like that, as grand, but like we all do it to each other. Like
Mhm.
there is a community within the gym. So you walk through and you see somebody and you're like, hey, how
Yeah.
you doing? You know what I mean? And it's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
I've got haircuts from it and all that. Like, it's really great. Like you almost think about sometimes changing because I know we needed a pool for triathlons.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm getting off track. But anyways, um, I love it. It's really good um,
Mhm.
overall, and I miss a lot of hints and cues. so that's so that's the thing, ladies. Be
You make
straightforward.
it really obvious.
Just
I had to
straight.
be really obvious with Mike.
Yeah, some of us,
Like, literally, he was like, "Let's go to a game sometime," and I'm sure he meant just his friends, and I was like,
right.
"Yeah, let's do it," and then he never invited me to a game, so I'm like, "How about this day? I'm gonna come up," and he's like, "Okay," and so then I go up there, and he's like not acting super interested.
right.
Like, we were having a great time. It's actually one of the
Well,
best memories, like, that I have at
yeah.
all,
Like he
and
probably was interested, but he
so
wasn't showing you what
then
you're used to feeling
yeah,
as
yeah.
interested.
His
Yeah.
side of the story is like he didn't even think it was a possibility, but he
Yeah.
liked me and like thought I
Like
was
he was
cute
hopeful.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he was like not making the first move at all. And I
Yeah.
figured that out. So then like I made every single first move,
I love that.
every single one. And
Yeah.
so
Well,
he
and
got
a
the
man
point
who grew up
finally.
around a sister.
Yeah.
Right, so I believe in that,
Yeah.
like, because I grew up around sisters as well, and I think that is like, not to say men who don't grow up around sisters are bad men,
Mhm.
that's not what I'm saying, to
Mhm.
be clear,
Yeah.
but I wonder if he's, like, probably seen her treated a certain way, and
Yeah.
that's how he affects how he treats people, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. Oh, yeah,
Um,
he's like a total gentleman, so
absolutely, yeah,
mhm.
that's so awesome, I love that.
Yeah, but, yeah, it's just gotta be that way
Yeah.
sometimes.
Didn't you write a paper about, like, how you were gonna be with him one day or something?
Oh, yeah, he was in my journals because I met him when I was 13.
That's what I meant, yeah.
Yeah, so many papers. Yeah, he's in all of them. I was, like, obsessed with him as a kid,
I love
like, when
that,
you
I
have
love your
childhood
guys' story.
crushes.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
it's
I
so
had,
beautiful.
I mean, again, I was, like, 14 when I did this, but, like, I knew how tall he was,
Yeah.
so I marked his height on my bedroom wall and wrote his
Oh,
initials so I
yeah.
wouldn't forget how tall he was.
I
Stuff
love that.
like that.
That's so cute. See, oh, you guys are so adorable.
Yeah,
See,
so
and sometimes people's like adorable stories make me want to barf. I'm gonna be honest,
yeah,
but like yours
yeah,
just makes me
it's
smile. I
Yeah.
love it.
It's so funny because when we got married,
Hmm.
he was like very like kind of clingy to me,
Yeah.
and I was just like the opposite. I'm just like, blah blah blah, blah. And then as like time goes by,
Yeah.
I'm now more like
The clingy
clingy for
one.
him, and he's like, "Get off me!" Like
He's
I
like, I
want
need some
to.
space. Yeah.
And so yeah, it's
That's so
it's
funny.
so funny. And so now, but we laugh about it. And so
Absolutely.
I'm always like, let's just go to the store together and go to the grocery store. And he's like, why would we both go? That's not practical. And I'm like, because we like to hang out together. And he's like, no, like I am not going if I don't have to go. Or if I'm going, you don't have to go because I'm the one going. I'm like, because he's so practical. And
Yeah.
I'm like, but we just want to. And so
I've
then,
dated girls like that. I know exactly what you're talking about.
and like yesterday, he was like, he went to the store
Yeah.
and then he texted me and he's like, so we have some neighbors,
Mhm.
Bernard and Corey, and they're
Yeah.
funny. They're like 60 and like, he's like, I was behind that Bernard and Corey in line.
Mhm.
He's like, and they're both there, just they're doing what you've always wanted. They were just there together because they want to be together. I'm like,
Yeah.
see? And he's like,
It's a
it doesn't
thing.
make sense.
Yeah, but like I think it does. Like it's just time spent,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like I don't think like I don't know, like I had an ex-girlfriend, you know her, that was the same way. I'd always be like, let's go to the store.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, no, I'm just gonna
Uh-huh.
see it here.
Right,
And you can
yeah.
come back. And
Like,
I'm like,
that's not practical,
yeah, it's
which
the
I
same
do
way.
get it.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
like, it
The
does
logical
make
side
sense.
behind it. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, but that's the hard part is that like not saying that every time I want to take somebody with me to the store. You
right.
know what I mean?
Yeah, of
Like, of course.
course. Yeah.
But you're having the argument is
Uh-huh.
logic versus emotions,
Yeah,
right? Where the one side
exactly.
is like, oh, I know, but
Yeah,
emotionally I want you to be there and I want to
right.
spend time. And
Yeah.
the other person is like, that doesn't like
Like, why
logically.
would we do
Yeah,
that?
exactly.
Yeah, so that's how it
I
is.
love it.
And I think it was because I
And
was
neither is wrong.
exposed to like my first boyfriend, which didn't love him,
Hmm.
didn't like I have no fond memories
Right.
of actually dating this guy. But
No.
the family environment was something that I'm like, I really like this. This feels really good. Someday I want
Okay.
my family like this.
Yeah.
And they would do stuff like that. It was like so cute. Like
Yeah.
the dad would want to go to Weimar and then the mom like his mom would be like, like he'd be like, "You want to go?" And she'd be like, "Yeah, I want to go." And then she'd hop in the
Mm,
truck and we would go. They'd be like,
yeah.
boyfriend and Jordan, do you guys want to come with us? And we're
Right.
like, yeah. And so we would just go and we just like hang
It's a
out
good
with
time.
them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I love that. Like,
Yeah.
and so I do miss that example of like a family unit to where I grew up in one that was very practical and
Mhm.
that would never happen. You
Right.
don't want to just like crave being around your family. Like,
Right.
anyways. And so I'm
I get
like, I really like that. And I would love that. Obviously, it's just me that wants that.
it.
But maybe someday one of the kids will grow up and feel that way too. I don't know.
Absolutely.
But
Well, and yeah, I mean, like my grandparents were like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
so
like, yeah, my
cute.
grandma Jean used to call my Papa Don her Don Juan,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they would just go like everywhere,
Yeah.
and you'd see them putting around in their
Like
little
obviously if
Cadillac.
someone's codependent on the other one, that's not good. Like
Right.
obviously.
Yeah.
But it's like if you genuinely just like hanging out together.
Yeah,
I'm like,
absolutely.
that's
I
cool.
mean, yeah, that should be. Yeah, like because there is a huge. You're absolutely right there. There's a huge difference between
Yes. Like
codependency
that's not
and just
good.
trying to spend
Like,
time.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
agreed. Yeah, where it's like I can't do anything without you.
Yeah,
Well, that's not.
yeah, right. And I'm obviously not codependent on Mike,
No,
but
no,
I
no.
love being around him
Right.
and
Well, you guys are so
everything.
busy. I'm sure you value any time you do get with him.
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely,
yeah.
is what you're saying.
I mean,
Which is different.
a week will go by and we haven't like had quality time together
Right.
because we're like busy with sports or the kids'
You
sports
guys have 4 kids,
and all of the
and then you
things.
run a
So
business as
yeah,
well.
yeah. So that that keeps us busy.
Makes it hard. Yeah, absolutely. Um, I get it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I barely get to snuggle my cat, so I mean, it's no. I was
Yeah,
trying to
I
be
do
funny
get
about
to
it.
snuggle them because
Y-
I work from home,
Yeah,
so they're always around me.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
that's so cool. So that's like our Valentine's Day edition.
Oh
Actually, talking
yeah.
about it
Mhm.
because we talked about like
Yeah.
me missing opportunities about getting hit on. Your guys'
Yeah.
love story. I love your
Yeah.
guys' love story. I'm gonna say it
Yeah.
again.
Aw,
Yeah, it's the
thanks.
best.
Me too.
It's the best.
Well, one
I'll
of
have to
my
like write a movie.
questions could kind of have to do, and like we don't need to go
Ooh,
into detail, but
okay.
what was your first kiss?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't even think she would care if I said her name.
Yeah.
It was my because like she's married now. Obviously, you know what I mean. It was in kindergarten,
Uh-huh.
um, or first grade. Which one was it? Super young at our elementary school, which I went to kindergarten to as well there.
Uh-huh.
And it was Minden Polston, and it was underneath the big toy
Mhm.
when she was my first kiss.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old?
I was in kindergarten.
Oh my gosh,
Oh, that's
that's
right.
so
Because actually,
early.
I broke James's arm. We were wrestling around. My good friend James
Wait,
Oak.
what?
Yeah, we were wrestling.
And
So,
it's related to the
oh
kiss?
yeah, 100%. So Minden and I like she used to. I would sit on her lap and she would read me books.
Wait, who?
Minden, like she was
That's
so
the one you kissed?
yeah, yeah. We were in the
Okay.
same grade,
Okay.
but she was a little bit taller. I
Yeah.
was a little bit shorter. I was more like Porter. Like, so
Yeah.
I didn't grow
You were
until like,
smaller.
yeah, I didn't grow
Yeah.
until like sophomore year.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
finally grew
Yeah.
to where I'm at now, which is
Yeah.
average.
Right.
Yeah,
Average at best.
exact best. But I think Lyle's gonna be like 6 foot. I'm so stoked for
So
him. Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
Which is funny because like I have it in my family. My
Yeah.
blood grandfathers are
Yeah.
over 6 foot. Like, so
Uh-huh.
it's like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Um,
At least you're a good height.
no,
But,
absolutely.
yeah.
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 Yeah. I mean, I'm very happy with where I'm at and who
Right.
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is fun to joke about.
Right.
Yeah. And so, but yeah, it was with her. And it was very innocent. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It wasn't anything like sloppy or anything. It was just a quick peck,
Yeah. Yeah.
just
Yeah.
because
I would
like,
hope it wasn't sloppy when you were in
no,
kindergarten.
no. Well, I'm not trying to oversell it. I don't know. I
Yeah.
think you just see things on TV, you see people
Mhm.
kiss,
Yeah.
and you don't really
Yeah.
understand your emotions. You're like,
Right.
oh,
Yeah,
you're
this
a
is
cute
what you
girl.
do.
Yeah, that kind of
How
thing.
did that how's the arm, the broken arm? What's that have to do with anything?
Oh, so well, he started trying to get like books read by Minden. And so we
Oh.
wrestled around one day because like we were it's so long ago it's hard to remember, right? Like I just remember parts
Yeah,
overall. Like I
yeah.
don't remember. I
Right.
think it was over that. It could have
Yeah,
honestly not even been over that.
yeah,
Like we could
but
have
it was
just been
around the same
wrestling.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, like I just remember wrestling, and the funny thing is he's like way bigger than I am now too. So
Yeah, I know.
it's like hilarious.
Thankfully, it happened back then
Yeah,
instead of
like
now.
because he's taller and he's just a big guy, in
Yeah.
general. Comes from good stock.
Mhm.
And and so yeah, it's just really funny. And
And you broke his
but
arm?
yeah. Yeah, we were just wrestling around. It
Oh,
was on accident.
of
Yeah,
course. You
it
were
wasn't on
friends,
purpose.
yeah.
Um, but it was back in the day, and
Mhm.
I remember I had to sit in like from recess about it and everything.
Yeah,
Like I
I
was
would
in
imagine.
yeah, like a couple days worth. And that's when I sat with Miss Munson, and
Yeah,
she was really nice. We would do like finger painting and stuff like that.
it's nice.
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah,
horrible.
that is real good.
Yeah, I mean it was beautiful outside. I wanted to be outside, but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it wasn't too bad.
You're just kissing girls and breaking
Well,
arms.
the funny thing, the reason I paused is actually Miss Munson's daughter and I actually dated. I was in fifth grade. We hung out a little bit. She was like the next like girl that kind
Yeah,
of meant something, and
yeah,
like in a small way.
right.
Not nothing
You're
against her
like,
or anything,
yeah,
but you're
mhm.
fifth grade, right?
Yeah,
So what
yeah,
is it?
right, yeah.
And we actually were just like it was really innocent. We were friends. We'd walk home together.
Mhm, mhm.
You know what I mean? Type
Yeah,
deal. It's fifth grade stuff.
right.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
we'd walk
yeah,
home together, and I was like really interested in her, and she was interested in me, and it was, but like nothing really ever came of it.
yeah,
Um, and it's funny to keep up with these people and just see where they're at,
yeah,
nowadays.
yeah. How
And
funny.
see their families and see what they're doing, and everything,
Yeah,
which is great.
yeah.
Uh, and to think back, because I haven't thought about any of these times, like or
Mhm.
anybody like that. Um, but how about you?
Mine was, I was 17,
Okay,
so pretty
yeah.
late to the game, but I wasn't I
There's no wrong
definitely
or
wasn't,
right.
like, allowed to. So I
Yeah,
was heavily monitored.
right,
I did not I was not allowed to date.
right.
And so, we went on a mission trip for church
Okay,
to, like, pretty southern Mexico,
yeah.
and we stayed at, like, this missionary compound with, like, Rottweilers protecting it because it was a really dangerous part of Mexico.
Wow.
And it was just like it was wild to see. Like, it obviously makes me very thankful because they were living in plywood and tarp homes.
Mhm.
Not the missionaries,
But the
but
people surrounding
yeah,
it,
the missionaries, they did not have obviously very fancy, but
right?
it was like it did have walls. But yeah, and like there were we saw maybe 3 people that had cars.
Oh wow.
and they had like megaphone strapped for a radio. They would have megaphone strapped to them,
Hmm.
and they didn't have driver's license, so they were like sometimes kids
Yeah.
because it's like there weren't laws
Right.
there.
Yeah.
Anyways, and so, but there was a missionary's son that lived there, so he was of Mexican. What is it, nationality?
I think so.
Where
Yeah.
you were born there,
Right.
and
Yeah.
so yeah, but
He's Mexican.
not by shoot, I always mix up like your genetics versus where you live,
Right.
you know.
Hmm.
Anyways, and so, but he was blonde hair, blue eyes.
Yeah.
He wasn't exceptionally cute. He was just available
Right.
and off limits because he was the missionary's son,
Right.
and he lived in Mexico, and he only dated like girls from there.
Hmm.
Anyways, and so we had been like flirting the whole time, and all of the parents were watching us. Like one
Yeah.
time we were trying to stay up late to play a board game,
Hmm.
and like some of the other parents on the missions trip sat right next to us.
We're like hanging
we
out
were
right there.
heavily monitored. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then really fast before we left
Yeah.
on the bus to go home, we snuck into just like a normal room, and he really quick kissed me, and then one of the other parents walked in on us and freaked out on us.
Yeah.
And then I wrote about it in my journal, and then my parents found the journal and then called his parents. They were like, "Your son kissed our daughter. It was her first kiss." Blah, blah, blah. And then his parents were like, "Oh my gosh, we had no idea. Like, we're really sorry."
Well, what are they supposed to do about
I
it?
know.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, but like their son, he's like he's like a dad now with a
Yeah,
family.
of
I'm
course.
sure he's a great guy, but at the time he was like a kid too.
Hmm.
And like he and his friends were trying to invite me and some other girl to come like drink alcohol and climb up a power line.
Yeah.
And we said no because we knew we'd get killed.
Right.
Like that's just like what they did. So I'm sure him giving me a kiss was probably pretty tame compared to what his parents were dealing with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyways, but yeah, so that was mine. It was in Mexico.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a good story.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty nice. There's
Yeah.
like palm trees and stuff.
See, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's beautiful out.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's pretty good.
All right. Well, we're gonna, as Ross from Friends would say, pivot.
Okay.
Pivot.
Pivot.
Where'd it go? Oh, if you could be any animal for a day, what would it be and why?
For sure a bird.
Oh, I think maybe
'Cause
we talked
then-
about this before.
No, it's superpower.
That's what
And
it was. Okay.
And flying would be awesome, but it like mess you up. Like you'd get like freezing cold or hot. I don't know.
Well, your body
like,
would have to be able to adjust for
like
that.
as a human, you couldn't fly, but as a bird you can. So
Yeah.
I would say bird.
Okay.
Yeah. How about you?
And is that because of flight?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and all you could see, like you
Yeah.
know, and it'd be super fun.
That makes sense.
You could also die really easy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what I really want to do? Have you
What?
seen the videos of people that like disguise themselves as a bird feeder, and then birds come eat off them?
No. No, I have not seen
I want to
this.
do it so bad. Like
Okay.
literally, if I
Let's do
have
this.
time, yes.
Let's set this up.
Yes.
We'll make this a video. This is a Real Cup podcast video. I'll do that with you.
Okay, but you got to come over today for it because I really want to do it.
Are we
right
doing it
now.
today?
I don't
Okay.
know. I meant to do it yesterday. I
How are we
forgot.
gonna make you a bird feeder?
Okay, so
So,
look it up on the rails. I literally legit like really want to do this. Okay.
okay.
Like so the
Yeah.
people that do it, they
Yeah.
put on sunglasses and a hat.
Okay.
And better if a lot of people do the ones with the flaps. So you got to make sure your body isn't visible.
Right, because you don't want to
So
look like
like
a person.
sunglasses, hat, flaps, or like a towel.
I have a hat with flaps.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would be like perfect human bird feeder hat.
Perfect.
And so then, you're covered with things, and then you take a paper plate
Hmm.
and then you like put it over your face. So all you have is like a dish of food.
Like out, so you have a dish outreaching from your face.
Yeah, you tie
Okay.
it on. It's
All
like a
right.
paper plate, and
Yeah.
then you put bird seed in it.
What if? So like, Oh my god, though. What if a bird like started pecking your eye out though?
Well, because you have sunglasses.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, you're covered. Like
All
you're
right, all right.
protected and it's over your nose.
Okay, that'd be fine then.
So,
Okay.
yeah. And they're just little cute birds. They're not like
Yeah.
crows. Like if a crow was coming
Well,
up, I'd
that's where
probably
where
like,
are we gonna do
stop
it?
it.
Do you have cute birds at your house?
Oh, yeah. Like
Okay.
really cute birds. And so then they
I just have
come
crows.
eat and then they're right in front of your face. And then you record it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I really want to do. I've always been.
All right.
Yeah.
I think we should definitely do it.
Like
Yeah.
so insane. Just like sitting up and then what if the bird comes?
And poops on it?
Or I don't care about that.
Yeah.
But what if
It's
the
all my fault.
neighbors like see and then they're like, what the
You're
actual
like,
hell?
what is this weirdo doing?
Yeah.
They'll be like, I'm so happy they're moving out.
Yeah.
They're
But
becoming bird feeders.
so that's,
I like it.
side note, I'm gonna do that. That'll be really fun. You're
That's gonna be
welcome.
hilarious. I'm
Yeah.
I'm down to do it with you.
Okay.
100%.
Perfect.
Um,
What about you? What
I
would you
would be a raccoon
Yes, you
all
would.
day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like
You
the
love
mischief
raccoons.
you could get into. I do love raccoon. I love raccoons. And
Mm-hmm.
like so they're great climbers. They're little ninjas, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would love to run through a neighborhood and just kind of like
Mm-hmm.
roam around, climb trees. Like the flying, you almost got me with that. I was almost thinking of like a crow or an owl
Mm-hmm.
because the flying is very like intoxicating of an idea,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I think it'd be cool to see about like, because I think raccoons burrow as well. I'm not sure if they do or not
Not like into the ground, but probably into like, yeah, bushes and
and
like
stuff like
dens
that.
and yeah.
Right. I would just
Mhm.
like to see
I
it from
think
that
they live
aspect.
more like under houses and porches and stuff.
That's what it is. I think you're right.
I think, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So I would just love to see it from that aspect,
Right.
just from more of the like I've always thought about that, like, the cats, how they go out. Like I
Mm-hmm.
love the videos. Have you ever seen those where they put the videos in the cat and they record their
Yeah,
day?
like all that they do.
Yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
like seeing that. I'm like, I wonder what those guys do. Like I wanted
Yeah.
to do that with Wednesday, just see what
They
she does all
cause
day while she's at
mischief
home.
for sure. Yeah. I know. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
That's pretty good. Here, let me ask you something. I had a good one that I definitely. Oh, I haven't thought of the answer to this myself, so hopefully it's not too hard for us to think on the fly. But what is something you've never told anyone, not because it's a secret, just because you've never told anyone?
I
Yeah.
don't know. I've got a problem with oversharing. So
I know.
so I'm like, what have I not told somebody?
Yeah, and like it can be the dumbest thing,
No,
you know.
but yeah, but still, I mean, I share
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Even, I mean, I don't know. I mean, there are things obviously I keep
Yeah.
private to myself.
Mm-hmm.
I do overshare a lot of things. I'm not gonna lie
Mhm.
about that as well.
Yeah.
But something that I just haven't told anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I don't know. That's a good one.
I would
Can't think of
say
anything.
for me, uh, like I try to, well, it bothers me when things are like perfect.
Mhm.
I try to have it be certain things. Like, so as far as like house organization,
Yes.
I don't like things perfect.
Okay, so you want to throw a little chaos into it.
Yeah. So like when I load the dishwasher, I don't like having it set up like correctly. Like it drives Mike crazy. But like I'll do like glass cup and then all the different sizes of plates. And I don't like all the silverware where they're like in the you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like all the forks all in
I
nice.
understand what you're
I
saying, but
purposely
like
I
why?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's the way the good Lord made me.
The good Lord made you.
Yeah. It just really bothers me when things
Yeah.
are like neat
You're
in
not the
there.
only person I've met like this
Yeah.
because
So
I'm more like Mike.
yeah. Yeah.
And not that either what side is right or wrong,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But I've always, as somebody on the other side of it, been
Mhm.
curious about it
Yeah.
because to me it just doesn't make sense.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
To me, it's like, why would you not just
It
match it all
does
together?
make sense to me to have it neat and orderly, but I just don't like that.
I get it. Yeah,
Mhm.
I've
A-
dated a couple people like that as well.
And it might be that I was raised by somebody that was neat and orderly
I think
and
absolutely it's a
made me
rebellion.
be neat and orderly. And if I wasn't, then I would literally get in trouble.
Right.
So to me, and I'm like, by nature, I'm not for sure because it was like a struggle for my whole life.
Right.
But also now it's like, I don't really want to. I associate that with negative feelings. And so I just kind of love having it a variety all
No, well,
the
that makes
time.
perfect
So it's
sense.
something like that
Yeah,
probably.
no,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I think that when we're forced to do certain things, like, and
Mhm.
it does have a negative connotation with it,
Yeah.
then like you don't like
You
you're
don't
gonna
do it.
push to do the other. That
Yeah.
makes
Yeah.
100% sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
and it adds spice to life.
yeah.
I
That's
mean,
how I figure
not
it.
saying I always put it in the same way. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But that is funny. I mean, I'm trying to think about how I do load. Like, so I do have things that are certain ways, though.
Yeah.
You know, I think everybody does.
Mhm.
But
I'm like
like,
that with work stuff.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, are you an over or under toilet paper person?
It actually doesn't bother me. If I could alternate it, I have zero.
So you would just throw
It's
it on
literally how I
however.
happen to be holding it. Yeah,
Okay,
neither
yeah.
way bothers me.
Oh, see, I have to have it a specific.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think most people do.
yeah,
From what I'm when I yeah.
yeah. The under people, I don't understand them.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't think it
but you're pretty.
literally none of that bothers me.
Yeah, see, that's
And
good though.
like people see how I work and my schedule and how I accomplish a lot of things.
Hmm.
And so they'll say things like, "Oh, I bet you need your towels folded in a cool way." Not only do I rarely fold towels, but I have zero method. I don't care how
Yeah,
they look. I don't even like none of that. I don't even think about that
yeah,
ever.
yeah.
And like so, and then people like, I bet you plan your vacations out. Oh, like no, I'd rather do what I have
Yeah, be
my
on the
whole
fly.
day planned out because I have to. If I go
Right.
on a vacation, I don't want to have to do that.
See, I'm the same way there with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like tomorrow, I've been like kicking around the idea. Lyle's done really good in
Mm-hmm.
school lately. He's been
Mm-hmm.
kicking butt.
Mm-hmm.
Every day I have to drive out to Kaiser.
Yeah.
So I've been playing around with the idea. I took tomorrow off of not even like letting him have the day off and
Yeah.
just taking like a vacation day for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that way I don't have to leave the house. We have all the food we
Uh-huh.
need. We've got
Yeah.
everything, you
Yeah.
know? And the couch is going to get delivered. He and I can put stuff
Mm-hmm.
together.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but then part of me is like, am I a bad dad? Like, I never let him stay home from school. I never get
Right.
to be that person.
Yeah.
Um, and but he's been doing really well, and I'm really
Mm-hmm.
proud of him. And
Yeah.
what was I was trying to tie that in. I would like it's funny how you just
Oh,
like
vacation days. Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Not planning. Yeah.
just yeah, because that's the whole idea is like we wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
really do anything
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow,
Yeah.
right? It would be just a
Yeah.
relaxation day of
Yeah.
not having to
Mm-hmm.
leave, not having to
Mm-hmm.
be anywhere. We just
Mm-hmm.
go with the flow. If we decide we
That
want
was
to
my
get up
day
and go for a walk,
yesterday.
oh really?
Yeah.
How was
Mm-hmm.
it? Was it great?
Yeah. I mean, I worked for about 4 hours, but
Right.
it was enjoyable.
Right.
Like, so I didn't have to,
But you did it because
but
you
I
wanted
did
to. Yeah.
because Will was home. Like Mike had to go. I don't remember what he was doing. Oh, he just went and played pickleball, but it was like
Yeah.
2 or 3 hours a long time.
Right.
And then Will was there, and
Hmm.
so I tend to just like chill. I like not be where they're at.
Right.
And nothing negative about Will. That's just
Just giving
he's
him
my
space.
ex-husband, so
Right,
I'm
right,
not
right.
gonna try to just like next to him hanging out.
Right.
So I was like, I'm gonna take my laptop into the room and just like have some tea and just do work on the stuff I don't usually have time to work on. And it was great.
Right.
And
That's
then I
awesome.
took a nap. It really wasn't very peaceful because Porter was watching YouTube next to me.
Oh yeah, I
So
bet.
really
Especially with
wasn't
kids' YouTube, it's all
but
yelling.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
I like video games. So I don't
Exactly.
know if I like slept, but still I
Right.
like rested. And yeah, it was like great day. No.
That sounds
Yeah.
awesome.
So that was yeah. So
That's
you
what I'm looking forward to.
and like
See.
you could also sometimes I do this with the kids, like if I have to pick them up for a doctor appointment or something like
Hmm.
that, I make sure I know their like semester or whatever you trimester or whatever you call it for
Right.
them. Their class schedule. Cause I know for Sophie and Anthony, the last class of the day is most important because that's math and they struggle in it.
Right. That
Well,
makes
Anthony
sense.
doesn't struggle, but he's in advanced, so it's a little harder for him.
Yeah.
Sophie struggles. So it's like I know to have them miss the first half of the day.
That
So
makes sense.
maybe Lyle
If you
has
have to.
his tough classes, maybe that he's struggling in. If they're in the first half of the day, and you could just pick them up at whenever they're done.
Well, I'd still have to drive out there. That's what I'm
Mhm.
trying to miss.
Yeah.
Is not having to
Not
drive out
having
to
to drive
Kaiser.
anywhere.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. That's
Yeah.
part of it. But
Mhm.
so in the same aspect of what you're saying though,
Yeah.
we're in the very beginning of the semester.
Mhm.
So where if he was like at the end and we had finals, like
Mhm.
that
Yeah,
was
you wouldn't want to miss that.
exactly. So
Yeah.
if he was to miss something, I think this would
Yeah.
be the best time
Yeah.
because he has so much time to make up if he for anything he misses.
Right. Yeah. That would
Um,
be kind of fun. That's
yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah, that's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm
Nice.
gonna do it.
Yeah.
Because I never do.
Yeah.
Like, and he's a junior this year.
Yeah.
It's
Call it a
only
mental health day.
yep,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna do
Mhm.
it.
Yeah. That's
Um,
fun. That's
yeah,
awesome.
and been talking to him about like college stuff and things like
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
Um, and so I want to try to get him into trades. I think he'd be really
Oh
good at that
yeah.
kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Um, and it's a whole area that isn't being utilized right now, and there's so
Hmm.
much opportunity
Yeah.
because everybody just went towards computers, which is not a bad
Hmm.
area to be in.
Yeah.
But when everybody oversaturates a market, I mean, you
Hmm.
know as well as I do.
Yeah. You have so much competition. It's so hard to like, yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure.
So why not look for another market that's not
Hmm.
cornered? You know what I
When
mean?
I was like graduating high school, everyone was going into psychology.
Hmm.
That was the
Yeah,
trend.
it was a big one.
But
Yeah.
it's like if you're not becoming like a licensed therapist or something, like
Right.
I'm sure it's a hobby, but you're not gonna like probably find a career with that if you're not
Right.
like actually
If
gonna
you're not
finish
actually
it out.
into it, yeah.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
think like it's like anything, right? Like people are like, oh, like, well,
Hmm.
who hasn't started something with hopes of wanting to do it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But I think you're right. Like I think a lot of people probably jumped into it
Hmm.
not really expecting to finish it out.
Yeah.
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 It was
Yeah.
more of the look of being like, well, I took some psychology
Yeah.
classes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's super interesting, but it's
Oh,
like,
yeah, who like
like,
it's absolutely very interesting
yeah.
why we
But
do what
like
we do.
everybody I knew that did that didn't make a career out of it.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
That's funny. It's like
yep.
an I was gonna say like an art degree. Uh,
Yeah.
but I respect people with their own
Yeah.
degrees. Like I'm
Like
not
if
trying to
that's,
just talk crap
I
about it
feel
or
like you
anything.
just have to have laser focus and a plan,
In anything you
and
do.
you can't half-ass it, and you can't put it early.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Hmm.
that's what I was trying to say too, is
Yeah.
that like while I make fun of the art degrees,
Right.
like you said, if there's I'm sure there's people out there who have them and have done
Hmm.
amazing things with them
Yeah.
because they have that laser
Hmm.
focus and they
Yeah.
go forward.
Yeah.
And that's like with anything.
With anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would fully
For
agree with that.
sure. Yeah. So
Was it your question?
yeah, it's your
What's
turn, and then we probably have room for time for one more.
yeah, all right. Let's see here. Ooh,
Mhm.
if your life had a theme song, what
Mhm.
would it be?
um, I'm thinking. If you know yours, though, speak now or.
Um, I don't, but do I have to forever hold my peace? No.
uh,
Let's see. I was just reading random questions. That one sounded like it was a good
yeah,
one.
that is pretty good.
So my theme song, I would
Let me
say,
look at my
well,
playlist.
I know that like I had songs picked out. So like if I
Mm-hmm.
was coming into an action movie, right? And you know how they have intro songs?
Yeah.
Like there were songs like that, like The Vines Get Free. I thought was really
Right.
cool. Like
Okay.
be driving in a car, right? And kind of coming in quick, but then like pull
Yeah.
up. Like
Yeah.
Fast and Furious down and be like, I'm gonna get free.
Yeah.
Drive into the sun. And
Yeah.
then but that would be kind of cool.
Yeah. That
But
would
it's
be
like
pretty cool. Like
yeah.
if that played every time.
Right. You walk into a room.
I mean, there's
That
a
would be a
couple
little
songs
intense.
that are like that are similar, but they're not like, so like my favorite songs to
Yeah.
like listen to, they're not like,
Necessary
they're
theme
just
song.
super fun to listen to. So
Right.
these are not like my favorite songs or anything. But there's one called Monsters by Ella Langley.
Ooh.
There's one called two by Kip Moore. One's called Janie Blue, and one's called Just Another Girl. And then there's another one by Jelly Roll called Son of a Sinner. So I would
Cool.
say those four, a combination of those four, is like 100% my life
I like it.
and who I am. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So
All right. We're gonna have to check those ones out.
yeah.
And then did you have another
Oh
or
yeah.
no?
I'm gonna find one right now. If you were to die tomorrow, what thing would you regret not doing? That's deep. I just landed on that and we're
Ooh.
going for it.
What would I regret not
If you
doing
died tomorrow.
if I died
Whew.
tomorrow? Wow. See, okay, so this is a hard one for me, and this is
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
And you know this actually. Well, I think once I say this,
Mhm.
you'll realize.
Mhm.
Like, so I just turned 41.
Yeah.
40 was a year about doing things that I always said I would do.
Mhm.
And so I've recently accomplished a lot of things
Yeah.
this last year,
Yeah, you
and I
have.
feel very accomplished.
Right?
So I'm kind of sitting here going like, "Oh, what would I like?" And it's
Mhm.
kind of a nice feeling. It's kind of a nice feeling to
Yeah.
sit here and not actually be like, "What would I regret?" And there's not much I can think of because
Yeah.
like I feel like the people in my life who I love know I love them. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Which is great.
Yeah.
I feel like I've worked very hard in my life, and if I was to die tomorrow, that people would
Mhm.
see that and know that.
Yeah.
Um, and
That's awesome.
yeah, and now, ah, I'm sure there's
Like, is there somewhere that you really want to travel?
well,
And
that's where I'm like
if you
breaking
died
down.
tomorrow, you'd like wish that you'd made it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I've always wanted to do a backpacking trip across Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
I've always wanted to like there's all kinds of places I want to hike.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would love to um go to like Australia. There's all kinds of like places out there I'd love to hike and then also just lay on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Um and there's all kinds of things out there that can kill you that
Oh
absolutely
yeah.
freak me out and
Stay in the
scare me.
city.
Right.
Stay around lots of
But like
people.
part of me wants to put myself into that because I like testing my boundaries.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
like knowing that it scares me makes me actually want to go. As
Yeah.
dumb as that sounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. Like not like if I died tomorrow, there's things I regret, like not regret necessarily,
Mhm.
but like I wish I would have jumped into barbering sooner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I wish I same with real estate for sure.
Yeah. You know, I wish I would have bet on myself sooner. I wish I would have
Mhm.
I think I wish I would have saw my value. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And so like but
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of that stuff over the last couple of years, working on
Right.
myself. So that's why I'm not starting to sound douchey,
Yeah.
but I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm actually feeling pretty good right now.
Yeah. Great.
But
Yeah.
yeah. How about you? Do you have one?
My only one is that it might be something that I have forever, is
Mhm.
just not like finding ways to be with the kids more and like invest more in them.
Yeah.
It's really hard with four of them. If I had one, I would be giving them plenty of attention, but
Right.
then you double it, triple, quadruple it.
Mhm.
It's like, if you have one kid and you have 1 or 2 nights a week with them, then that's great. But if there's 4, you're giving them 25%. Like, I don't
I
know.
get it. No,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. So, and then I do know that being a stay-at-home mom is not my jam. I
Right.
couldn't. I would
Yeah.
literally like it would be a bad thing. I would be a very bad version of myself. So, I definitely don't feel like I regret not, having a career.
Right.
But yeah, I would say in the past I regret not spending enough time with them, and I still feel like that today, even though I've come a long way.
Mhm.
So I feel like it will always be a regret. It's just it's hard to
Right.
figure out.
Well, okay. So yes, I would sorry, not to interrupt.
Oh no, I think it was done.
Okay. Just to be clear. Just you made me think of something. Like that's a
Mhm.
really good point. Like I would regret that
Yeah.
I haven't taken a big trip with Lyle.
Yeah.
I would regret that we haven't
Mhm.
done that yet.
Yeah.
You know, I would regret that I didn't get to see him get married.
Mhm.
That would break my
Yeah,
like
of
that almost brings
course.
me to
Of
tears right now
course.
thinking
I
about,
know.
oh my gosh, that
I
hit something I didn't
know.
expect
I
to hit.
know.
Like, yeah.
That's the kind of thing
Like,
I thought about when I got in my car accident
yeah.
is they won't have their mom.
Yeah.
I
It's a scary
know.
thought.
I know.
Yeah. So,
Oh
but
no.
no, I'm fine. But, but yeah, no, you know, thinking like, Lyle and I had a talk about that the other day,
Mhm.
and they are very thoughts about that. Like he was kind of frustrated because I was showing him how to do things and I was telling him to do stuff, and he was kind of like,
Yeah.
I think he was looking at me like I was being lazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
what are
yeah.
you doing? You're making me
Yeah.
do all this stuff.
Totally.
Because
Yeah.
I made him like
As
he
kids
he
do.
cooked us tacos last night and he did a
Yeah.
great job.
Aw.
And he helps out a lot around the house.
Yeah.
And like we had to have a talk about, hey, I'm asking more of you lately, right?
Mhm.
And he's like, yeah. And I was like, the reason behind that is because
Mhm.
I'm not gonna be around,
Yeah.
you know?
Aw.
And like the worst thing I can do is not teach you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like I don't want to leave you behind. I know, right? See, it's like I don't want to leave you behind and have you not be able to take care of yourself. And you know,
Yeah.
and like so like
Yes.
it's also for
It's
me to
out
know
of
that you're okay.
yeah.
Because like I
Like
need to know that
it's
you're
the
gonna be
greatest
okay.
form of love is to
Yeah.
prepare them for life, because life really sucks
Right.
a lot of the time.
I had to ask the big one. Jeez. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
such a
sorry.
softie.
I
No, like,
know.
but it's only with him. Like,
Yeah,
like
it's
when it comes to my
when you
son.
have
Yeah.
it's they're part of you. They're like,
Mhm.
I had someone say it's like it's your heart outside your body, and
Yeah.
you're like watching them live, and that's like your heart, like your best
Yeah.
part of yourself.
I would
Yeah,
agree.
yeah, and it can be really difficult when they have a tough life,
Yeah.
or anything. So yeah,
Absolutely. Well, yeah.
yeah.
And you know, I've almost lost him twice.
Hmm.
And I know like the world's hard, and
Yeah.
they have a path in front of them,
Hmm.
and it's not one of the easiest ones.
Hmm.
And so,
Yeah.
that brings up concerns as well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but they're a strong person, and I'm
Yeah.
very proud of who they've become.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
that would be my
Yeah.
deepest
Yeah.
regret.
Mine is that, definitely parenting. Parenting
Yeah.
is very difficult.
That's a good one. You brought it out. Nice one.
Sorry.
Well, on that note, we're out of here now.
That is our time,
But yeah, that
though.
is our time. We hit our 45 minutes.
Well, maybe that question can inspire everyone who listened,
Absolutely. Yeah.
because it's not too late to start like seeing what we can do to make it happen. I'm going to continually try to find more time for the kids and,
Same.
keep working on that.
I
So,
know. I think actually I will go home tonight and maybe plan out like a
hmm
vacation.
hmm Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a
I
good idea
think you
because
will
summer's
not
coming
regret
up.
that. Yeah.
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 Good
Exactly.
call. Good call. Well,
Do
what do we always say at the end again?
you want to thank everyone for joining?
I guess. Yeah. Thank you guys for joining us here at the Real Cat Podcast. We give you our unfiltered take on life.